Good day and welcome to Daily Cisco News, your home for Cisco information and training. My name is Karina Gonzalez. As the internet evolves and computer networks grow, network security has become one of the most important factors for companies to consider, especially since hacker tools have become more and more sophisticated. With that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into our feature video and look into Cisco security and how Cisco can benefit your organization.
Let's use this house as a representation of your organization. Cisco approaches security by looking at the entire threat continuum, which breaks down into a before, during, and after approach. Let's say this house has a huge lock on the front door. This lock is supposed to keep burglars out. Let's pretend a burglar is trying to break in. We're able to stop them temporarily or delay them with the lock on the door. This would be considered the before phase. The lock represents three main things: Open DNS, Next-Gen Firewall, and ISE. First is Open DNS, or Domain Name System. It is basically an address book for websites. It helps to prevent access to sites that may be bad for the network by creating lists of acceptable and unacceptable sites. Second is Next-Gen Firewall. This is definitely an area for competition for us since many companies offer their own form of a firewall. But NextGen simply will be enforcing procedures, making sure our lock is in place and trying to delay the threat from getting inside. Overall, this covers the policy side of security. Lastly, ISE, or Identity Services Engine. This is a key part of a security portfolio because it gives you the 4 W's. Who, what, when, and where. Who is trying to break in the house? What are they attacking with? Where are you allowing them to access your network or enter your home? Is it the front door, windows? When are they attacking? Is it late at night after everyone's asleep, or is it during the day while at work? This part of the continuum will give you those answers. The before is clearly a crucial part, but unfortunately, sometimes a burglar or a threat can get the lock open. Therefore, you need a harder defense, which in our example can be the actual walls of the house or door of the house. This leads us to the during phase. The actual door and walls and harder defense represent a couple things. First is IPS, or Intrusion Prevention System. This is an approach to a network security used to identify potential threats and respond to them swiftly. Second would be WSA, or Web Security Appliance. WSA takes a link on an approved site and basically decides if the link on the site is spam or not, and it will then block the site or link and won't allow it onto the network. Third is ESA, or Email Security Appliance. ESA helps block malware from any emails coming into your network or leaving your network. It does this while providing data loss prevention from possible files being attacked and trying to leave your network. Both WSA and ESA do a similar job in a different fashion. The during phase is basically hardening the network and trying to prevent you from an attack. Just like the front door or walls of a house acts as a hard defense to try and keep a burglar out. Unfortunately, during this phase, you can get a crack in your wall or defense. The burglar could break through the door physically or jump through a window or find a way around your hard defense. When this happens, you want to make sure you can scope, repair, quarantine, and fix your network. This leads us to the after phase. The after phase can be represented as the family or people inside the house observing and watching the whole attack happen. The individuals inside the home can represent a couple products that Cisco looks at during this phase. First is AMP, and second is LANCOPE. AMP, or Advanced Malware Protection, is aimed for endpoints. It will detect malware that has come through. It will quarantine everywhere it has been. This will allow you to fix and correct your network. Second is LandCope, which was acquired by Cisco in 2015. LandCope goes a little bit further and acts as a magnifying glass on the investigation and analysis of the network, and then helps to correct and then create policies around what happened to prevent it from happening again. Overall, we think of the overarching theme, Talos. Talos is the brain of Cisco security. It looks at terabytes of data across the network or house from all other houses or networks you may have, and feeds back info and runs it down to your before, during, and after phases to help harden your network overall. It'll make sure you're getting the up-to-date and real-time information on current threats to help you defend your network and help alleviate future threats.
Most competitors focus only on the before and during phases. Cisco goes the step further by creating an after phase. You can have the biggest lock on your door and the strongest walls, but what if a robber is able to break in or find a way around your defense? These days, it's inevitable that networks get hacked and breached. It's all about how you detect it and what you do to control it. Cisco has technology in place that can detect in less than a day, where others it can take weeks or months before they notice a breach. Going back to our home example, it would be like not knowing someone broke into your home for weeks, days, or even months. Kind of creepy if you ask me. This is Karina Gonzalez reporting live for Daily Cisco News, Chicago.